Hey, science fiction people, here is the deal. You have finished reading your first novel for the class. Here's how I'd like you to show me what you've gotten out of it. So this document is detailed so that you can go through it. I'm going to give you the overview of it, all right? So what I'm looking for is themes and symbols that you found in the book. And I know you might be reading the book and not looking for those, and I didn't specifically tell you to look for those. Think of it this way. After you've read your book, what is this book about and what is the author saying about it? So for example, when we watched WALL-E and you studied that one and you gave me some answers on it, I asked you for what are some of the big ideas and what are the authors saying about it? So many of you saw that WALL-E is a film about ecology or the earth being trashed, and the message was if we don't start taking care of things, this is what might happen. Okay, so in the book that you're reading, so if you're reading The Road or you're reading Robopocalypse or you're reading The Martian or whatever, what is something you're taking out of it? It might be science fiction-y, it might not. At the top of the class in September, I told you science fiction is really what it means to be human. That's what it's about. So maybe you're finding things like that. Maybe you're finding that, this book is more about determination than it is about artificial intelligence or living in space or aliens or whatever. And that's fine. Whatever you pull out of it is what you pull out of it. But whatever it is that you pull out of the book should be something that you should be able to support. So if you're reading something like The Martian, maybe you talk about the human spirit and determination and whatever, and you should have lots of examples from Mark Watney of the things that he's going through in order to survive, if he survives. No spoiler. At this point, you should know what happens in that book. Or if you're reading Ready Player One, as many of you are, maybe you find themes like corporatism or corporate monopolies, or maybe you find something like friendship and what the author has to say about friendships or tribes or banding together or whatever. What I'd love to do is I'd love to meet with anybody who, if you'd like to do a video chat and talk about this before you do the assignment, that's kind of what I do with people in class. And I know it may be difficult and maybe you're reluctant to, find time to do that. But, if you are not sure what to do, I could help you out with that real quick. Because what I don't want you to do is just to go to some website and find these themes and symbols already, because there are plenty of those out there. And just so we're clear, I've read all those and they should be there to help you. They should not be there to do your assignment for you. And if you do just cut and paste things from Shmoop or some other site or whatever, you're not going to get a second chance. If you plagiarize, that's pretty much it. You've made your choice. So this is me letting you know, disclaimer, that's not something you can do. All right, so back to the assignment. I've made these grids here to kind of help you out. I think they're very helpful for you getting your thoughts out. If you have a theme like determination or human spirit or whatever, if you can't give me at least 2 or 3 good examples from the book, then I don't think that's one you should do. So if you found something that's really kind of obscure, maybe you can't support it with the book, then don't do that one. I would also say that you should give me examples that go throughout the entirety of the book. If you only give me examples that are from the first 30 pages of the book, my red flags kind of go up and I wonder if you read the whole book. So I'm not going to ask you how did the book end exactly, but if you don't talk about how things end in the book, then that leads me to believe that maybe you didn't finish it. And I don't think that you'll end up doing as well as if you did finish the book, because then you actually know what the author is saying. If Mark Watney gets off of Mars, that's saying something about all he's doing. If it was a story where he tries and tries and tries, but then he ends up dying, that's a different kind of story. It's not necessarily a bad one, because somebody working hard and then ultimately dying, you could die trying as opposed to just waiting to die. So anyways, then also symbols. Sometimes people are confused about what a symbol is. A symbol is anything that stands for something else. So in the examples that I gave here in this little writing, WALL-E can be a symbol of hope. WALL-E is kind of actually a symbol of humanity because he's the most human of all of the characters in the story, including all the humans. You could talk about the plant, you could talk about the cockroach, you could talk about Eve and how they symbolize different things. And if you're clever about it, maybe you talk about how something symbolizes one of the big themes. However, this is tricky because if you just say Mark Watney is a symbol of humanity or whatever, you need to make sure that you write plenty about that theme. You can't double dip and do half as much work. So in some ways, I kind of recommend that maybe your symbols don't link up with your themes, just so that you have enough to write about. I'm not really worried about the amount of writing. I'm not interested in the depth of what you have to say. And that's why many of you would probably prefer to do a video or to do a chat with me to go through this, because at least if we're doing a chat, at least as the official assignment, I can actually pull some questions out of you. I can ask you for more if you're not giving me enough. So down below here, I gave you a place for you to type it out. This will expand as you type. I'm going to move this over here a little bit before I actually share it with you. Type in what the theme is. Somewhere in there, you should probably tell me what the book is. I mean, I should be able to tell from the things you're writing, but you'd be surprised. Sometimes people are pretty vague. But the way I'm grading you is I am looking at you explaining some themes that you see from a text, in this case, a book. I'm looking for proof of that. And then ultimately, not ultimately, but also I am looking at your grammar. If you choose to do a video, then I'm going to grade you on some of your, I'll find a different skill to incorporate for your video. So, and down below, I gave you some examples. One of them is from WALL-E. One of them is from Brave New World. And you can probably just, if you want more examples, you could reach out to me and let me know. So hopefully this gives you an idea of what we're going to do. I do have a second thing that I'd like you to do with your project, or with your novel. It's going to be more project-based. So let's just do this right now, and then I will hit you up with that when it comes time to do the project thing. All right, take care.